Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Again, all members of the media on the call, we are now joined with head coach Scott Satterfield of Appalachian State. Coach, before we get started with questions, can you give us your thoughts on last week's win against Akron and the upcoming game against Georgia State?
Yeah, I think first of all, we thought Akron was going to be a really good team coming in there. It just had a huge win at Marshall, and that proved to be true. I think their offense is very outstanding offense. Their quarterback and receivers did played a great game. Just proud of the way our guys competed and went out and got a great win at a team where I feel like, will certainly compete for the MAC championship, and for us to go on the road and get that win, proud of our guys. And, excited about this week with the opportunity of opening up our conference schedule with Georgia State.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll go to our first questions from Brett Stretlow of the Winston-Salem Journal.
Hey, Scott, just wanted to ask you about your offensive line versatility. I think on one early drive you had 4 different combinations out there, kind of started by Victor's being out briefly. Just can you kind of speak to your philosophy on, not just plugging in his spot, but the way you kind of shuffled and then just kind of kept being a domino effect when guys were coming out?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird sequence, especially on that drive. It seemed like, helmets coming off. We actually had we're getting pulled off a couple of them, and so we had to get those guys got to come out of the game, and we had to shuffle the lineup a little bit. Tobias H. Campbell came in and played some center. Chandler Greer played at guard. We're moving guys around from tackle to guard and all the different, combinations. And but those guys didn't miss a beat. We continue to have a good drive and continue to play well, really offensively throughout the whole day. Those guys know they have to be ready at any point in time to get the game. And, we're just proud of the way they went out there and competed.
Does that kind of speak to your philosophy of trying to get the best guys out there, even if maybe they're not in their natural position?
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to put the 5 best out there, and that's why, if you have to move a Colby out to tackle, or if you move Bo around, there's different combinations that we have. We want whatever guy can go in. We want the 5 best guys in there, and that's why we cross-train a lot of those guys. Parker and Tobias can play guard, center, and Colby and Bo can play, guard and tackle, and so you just try to cross-train those guys. Chandler Greer's a guy that can play guard and tackle. So you get the 5 best guys on the field, and hopefully they don't miss a beat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. We will go to our next questions from Steve Baer of the Watauga Democrat.
Hey, Coach. How are you?
Good, Steve.
Good. Kind of talk a little bit, I guess, about Jalen's day. It seems like whenever Marcus can't go, he seems to fill in and then some.
Yeah, we got a lot of confidence in Jalen. There was some question early on in the season about, what's wrong with him or this or that, and I just, told everybody to be patient. I mean, he's an outstanding back, and he'll have a breakout game soon. And just so happened this was the week, and, carried the ball 39 times. He's, very durable, and just had an outstanding game. Our offensive line blocked well, and for tight ends and receivers, but he's that kind of back that he's capable of going out and doing that. He's a big, strong guy. He's got really good speed. The thing, he's a little bit impatient to the hole, where Marcus is really patient. But he learned to get that this weekend, and I thought he hit the hole really nice and had some great long runs. And again, to carry the ball 39 times, that's a lot of guys can't do that, and he was able to do that for us, which we really needed to do that.
Coming up, you're playing Georgia State. You've blown them out, more or less dominated them the last 2 years. And then all of a sudden they've kind of turned it around a little bit to actually get to a bowl. What have you noticed a difference between the time that you played them at the end of last year? Did they do anything specific, or did they just start playing better?
No, I thought they're playing better. And I thought defensively that what they do is an aggressive style defense, and they're making teams drive it on them. And then offensively last year, the quarterback got hot, and they started scoring a lot of points. And they're capable of winning a lot of games and going back to bowl game and all that. I mean, they're going to come in here hungry. A little bit backs against the wall where they are in the season right now, and first conference game, and I would expect it to be a great ball game. It probably wouldn't be like the last 2 times. I think these guys are very talented, and Coach Miles has done a great job of getting this program built up, and they have a lot of weapons.
Do you still like to throw it around a lot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have some maybe the most talented wide receivers in our conference as a whole, and including their tight ends. So they have a lot of weapons, and they're still throwing the ball around. And anytime you can do that, if your quarterback gets hot, he can have a big day. And we haven't done well in the passing game the last 2 weeks defensively. So I'm sure they're looking at that and studying those films and finding ways to try to throw the ball on us.
Thank you, Steve. We'll go to questions now from Josh Parrott of the American Sports Network.
Coach, good morning. I apologize. I have a two-part question. Just wanted to check with you on Marcus and just his situation kind of moving forward, availability-wise. And then I was wondering if you could share a little bit on just the recruiting process and getting Jalen and just how it seems like going all the way back to high school, he's just been a guy who has been patiently waiting for his opportunity and always seems to capitalize whenever his number gets called.
Yeah, Marcus is still going to be day-to-day for us. He can come back at any point in time. We're not going to rush him back. When he's ready, he'll be ready, So we'll know more toward the middle of the week, I think. And, as far as Jalen, he's a guy we kind of got on a little bit late. He's out of Shelby, North Carolina, and he was behind Harbison, who's a really good player. He ended up going to Virginia. But ran really hard. Wasn't flashy, but then he's right down the road. And so by the middle of recruiting in January, we said, listen, we need to try to go get him, and we ended up signing him and redshirting him, and he's just gotten better and better every year. And I think the sky's the limit for him. He's nowhere near reached his potential. I mean, I think potentially could leave here as maybe one of the best backs ever to play at Appalachian State. I mean, I think that high of him, and he is very patient, unselfish. When he gets his opportunity, he makes the most of it.
And as far as just the success that you guys have had so quickly, you guys open up conference play this week, in making the transition and the move, you see teams sometimes who are never really a program's able to make that jump and be successful and win. You guys continue to win after doing it at a different level. Secret to success, just what do you think has been able to make you guys, so successful in the transition?
Well, I think number one, I think the coaching staff. I think they've done a great job over the whole period of the transition. It wasn't very smooth initially, but we stayed patient and stuck with the plan. And we have a bunch of players that are resilient and that play with a chip on their shoulder. And that's how we've always won a lot of championships here over the years. We really haven't changed the formula. I mean, I've been here. This is my 20th year as a player and a coach, and it's the same formula we've used when we were FCS, and we're using the same thing now. And we're making plays and winning games.
Coach, thank you much, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Josh, and thank you, Coach Satterfield. Those are all the questions we have for you today. We appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks. See you guys.